Welcome to ARDEX Answers podcast, where you'll find the latest and greatest on flooring, tiling and waterproofing, as well as general construction for the Australian building industry.
Welcome back to ARDEX Answers. I'm Monique Fenech and joining us today is Chris Brady. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much for having me.
Chris is our Technical Services Advisor at ARDEX Australia. Today's podcast topic is on tile adhesives and thicknesses. So to kick us off, Chris, could you give us a general overview of the recommended thicknesses that tile adhesives are designed to be applied?
For your tile adhesives, if they are a pre-bagged adhesive, they're pretty much all in the thin set category. So you're only looking at maximum around about 8 to 10 mil of compressed adhesive. You don't want to go beyond that, but there's still some limitations to that.
Okay, so adhesives aren't all the same. Is this the reason why there are specific class of adhesives and like mastic or cement based? How thick should they be?
So for your mastics or your premixes, because there is that abundance of extra moisture in there that needs to escape the system, you really don't want to pack those ones out. So for those, when you've got a compacted adhesive thickness, you're only looking around about 2-3 mil as a maximum there. Whereas a cement-based one, where there's not going to be that extra moisture because it's used up in the reaction, you're going closer to about 10 mil as your maximum for a cement base.
And so what happens if you do overextend the recommended thickness of the adhesive?
So additional thickness can have a few different effects. It can end up causing the adhesive to dry a lot slower than it should be. It can also affect the slump resistance of an adhesive. So say you've got a heavy tile on a wall. If you try and build out that wall with adhesive, you've got a very thick layer of something that's semi-soft. There's a likelihood that the tile actually kind of drags down the wall a little bit more than you would if it was properly compressed and only quite thin. And another big thing that's a problem is you actually start to get shrinkage within the adhesive as well when it's not designed for those thicknesses, which can either cause cracking in the adhesive layer or in pretty severe cases actually trying to pull away from the adhesive or the substrate.
What about back buttering? Does that affect the thickness?
Look, your overall thickness should be kind of still close to that, like 10 mil. Back buttering, look, it's something that I'd always recommend, especially when it comes to large format tiles. But it is something that you should only be back buttering maybe like 1 or 2 mil thick on the back there. That should be incorporated into that overall maximum thickness.
Are there adhesives that can be applied at greater depths?
Yeah, so look, when it comes to your traditional systems, if someone's going to do like wet bed paving, then your sand cement base, you can technically go quite thick with that one. But most of your pre-bagged ones have those limitations. There's a few out in the market that aren't designed as thin set adhesives, like the ARDEX X32. That one can actually be applied at pretty great thicknesses of around like 30 mil.
So are these measurements all on the technical data sheets for each of the products?
So for that, a lot of it is more to do with technical literature, technical bulletins. There are some general guidance limitations on the standards as well.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today, Chris.
Happy to be back.
And bye for now.